You probably think banks make money by charging fees, but that's only a small part of the story. The real business happens behind the scenes. Every morning, millions of people deposit money, use debit cards, pay credit cards, transfer cash, and then walk away thinking that's all a bank does. But while customers go on with their day, banks are already putting money to work. And that's where everything changes. Because banks don't simply store money, they use it to support lending, payments, and other financial services. That's how the business works. In fact, every dollar that enters a bank can become part of a much larger financial system, one most people never see. So here's the question: if banks don't simply hold your money, then how exactly do they make billions of dollars every year? The answer is surprisingly simple, but almost nobody explains it in plain English until now. By the end of this video, you'll understand how banks really make money, why your deposits matter, and how knowing this can help you become a smarter customer. Let's begin. Let's start with something simple. You walk into a bank and deposit $1,000. What happens next? Most people think it just sits there, waiting. But in reality, banks don't simply lock every dollar inside a giant vault. Modern banking works very differently. Banks keep available funds to meet withdrawals and payment needs. At the same time, they also use deposits to support their lending business. Imagine your money joining thousands of other deposits. Together, those funds help banks provide loans to households and businesses. Those loans generate interest income, and that interest has traditionally been one of the main ways banks earn money. Here's a simple example. A bank pays interest on many savings accounts. Then, it may lend money at a higher interest rate. That difference helps support its business. Of course, that's only part of the picture. Banks also have operating costs, regulations, technology, and financial risks to manage. But here's where things become really interesting, because lending isn't the only way banks make money. In fact, some of their biggest businesses don't involve loans at all. Most people think loans are the entire business, but for many banks, they're only one piece of a much bigger machine. Every time you swipe a debit card, use a credit card, or pay online, several companies may work together to process that payment. Depending on the account, the card, and the agreement, banks may earn revenue from some of those services. Now think about businesses. Every day, companies accept thousands of card payments. Managing those payments is another service many banks provide. Banks also offer business accounts, cash management, payroll services, treasury solutions, and other financial tools for companies. Some banks also earn by helping clients manage investments or access specialized financial services. Exactly which services depend on the bank. When you put all these businesses together, you begin to see why banks are much more than places to store money. But here's something almost everyone gets wrong. People often believe banks want customers to stay in debt forever. Is that actually true? So, do banks actually want you to stay in debt forever? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Banks earn money when loans are repaid according to their agreements. That's generally a healthier outcome for everyone involved. When borrowers miss payments or default, it can create serious problems for families, for businesses, and for banks too. That's why banks spend a lot of time evaluating borrowers before approving many loans. The goal isn't simply to lend money, it's to lend responsibly and increase the chances that the loan will be repaid. Of course, banks still compete to attract customers. They offer different accounts, cards, loans, and financial services because that's their business. The stronger the relationship between a customer and a bank, the more opportunities there may be to use additional services. Over time, But here's something most people never think about. What if banks could make money even when you never borrow a single dollar? Let's say you never apply for a loan, you never finance a car, you never borrow money. Does that mean your bank makes nothing from you? Not exactly. Think about how often you use your debit card, pay bills online, receive your paycheck, or transfer money using your banking app. Each of those services requires technology, security, customer support, payment networks, and banking infrastructure. Depending on the account and the service, banks may earn revenue from account services, payment processing, or other banking activities. Some accounts may include monthly fees, others don't. Some fees can often be avoided by meeting certain account requirements. That's why reading your account terms actually matters. A few minutes today could help you understand the services you're using. The more you understand how banking works, the easier it becomes to choose the accounts and services that fit your own needs. But here's one final question. If banks are businesses, should you trust them or should you be careful? So, should you trust banks? The better question is, should you understand how banks work? Because understanding always beats guessing. Banks are businesses. They earn revenue by providing financial services, but they're also part of a regulated financial system designed to protect customers and support the economy. That doesn't mean every product is automatically the best choice for every customer, which is why reading the details still matters. The smartest customers don't avoid banks. They ask questions, compare options, understand the costs, and choose what fits their goals. Because real financial success doesn't come from finding secret tricks. It comes from making better decisions again and again. Now you know, banks don't simply store money. They provide services, support lending, process payments, manage risk, and earn revenue in several different ways. And perhaps the biggest lesson is this: the more you understand how money works, the better prepared you'll be to make smarter financial decisions. If you enjoyed learning the truth behind how banks actually make money, subscribe to Wealth Decode. Every week, we break down complex financial topics into simple, easy to understand lessons, because the goal isn't just to earn more money, it's to understand how money really works. I'll see you in the next video.